You know who I bet wished had streaming service back in their time? Abraham Lincoln.
Why?
Because he got shot in the theater.
Oh my God.
Hello and welcome to another episode of our podcast where today we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of one of the greatest slashers of all time, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I am your amazing, spectacular host with the most, Detective Artemis.
And I'm Journey.
And this is Drink to a Decade. Cheers.
Cheers.
50 fucking years of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, sometimes people tend to forget that, that Leatherface came out before Michael Myers. So when people think of like the first slasher, they often think of Halloween. But actually, before him, it was actually Leatherface, and then there was Black Christmas that came out around the same time. But I think the original slashers were Psycho and Peeping Tom, which also came, I think,
Peeping
in the same
Tom.
Yeah.
I always assumed Peeping Tom was the first one.
Yeah, so it's either that one or Psycho, but those are the actual like original, what we now call slashers. But I guess what I was trying to say is that the main misconception is that people think Michael Myers started it, but he did not. He probably made it the most famous, but Leatherface kind of gets shoved to the side in Black Christmas.
Okay, let me bring you back there real quick. I need to ask.
Sure.
Did you say the greatest slasher of all time?
One of the greatest slashers.
Okay. I needed you to say that.
If I did say the greatest slasher, I probably meant to say, I did mean to say one of the greatest slashers.
One, but not the greatest slasher.
No, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely top 10 for me.
Okay, that's gonna be a question for later, right?
Oh boy,
write that down. I want this conversation.
Are you gonna grill me?
I want to know what your top 3 greatest slashers are. So that's gonna be a question for later.
Oh shit. Okay, I was not ready for that, but that's
write
fun.
that down.
That's fun.
Write that down.
All right.
All right.
Write it in blood.
Continue with your intro.
Well, okay. So 50 years since the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What are your?
I wasn't born yet.
Okay.
I am not 50 years old.
Sure. Okay. But I mean, like, what was some of your earliest memories? Or like, when was the first time you've ever watched this movie?
Shit, I don't remember, dude. I really don't. And I know it was way late into my adulthood. Because I never really... I think I watched all the others. I think I watched sequels before I actually watched the original.
I know you watched the one with your
my biggest crush ever.
Your old crush. Was it Alexandra Daddario?
That's the only one that matters.
That's okay.
That's the only
Who ended up being Leatherface's cousin?
I'm okay with that.
We'll say that for sequel talk.
I love crazy girls. I do.
Just there's something about it. Living life dangerously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roger that.
Sex is wild.
I think you just got to make sure that you pick positions where you can see their hands at all times.
Or not. You gotta live dangerously sometimes, man. Just go for it. Just and it's the moment that you hear the chainsaw start is when you run out of the bedroom.
That's where the erection really.
That's when the erection goes down, or it goes up, depending on what you're into. I don't know. It could be a motorized dildo, or it can be a chainsaw. Who knows?
You know, I didn't. I wonder. I'm gonna challenge ourselves for the next episode to not make any dick jokes.
Nope, or I won't be part of it.
Okay. Well, all right. Well,
actually, I'll take that challenge, but I will be very boring.
I think it would be a very, very underwhelming episode because just like with porn, it's not really porn until you see the dick in there. If it's not, then it's just like late night Cinemax stuff. Is Cinemax still a channel?
No, I don't think it is.
No, because it's Max.
Max. It's Max.
HBO Cinemax.
Cinemax. I guess so. I don't know.
It's more like Skinamax.
No, I'm sure we have episodes where we don't make dick jokes. You would assume our Disney episodes, but no, there's still dick jokes.
Anywho, so yes, I remember watching that, and I rewatched it multiple times since then, and I think it's great. I love just the whole like the atmosphere that it's in, and I love how just by looking at the movie, you can just tell that it's fucking hot over there.
In Texas.
Yeah, well, in the movie, like, because it has that like gross and hot, uncomfortable feeling to it. This is like with the warm colors and then the daylight scenes and stuff. So when it jumps to like the couple of night scenes I'm like, wow, most horror movies are better at night, but for Texas, I think it works better in the daytime, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, okay, I agree with that. And also because you don't assume bad, scary things happening during the day. All the other stuff is saved for the creatures of the night. These are creatures of the day.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I think that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I think so too. You're right. Because yeah, I can't think of any other horror movie that actually happens during the day.
Well, you got Day of the Dead.
Because it happens during the day.
Yes.
Okay.
And Dawn.
And Dawn.
Anywho, so some of my favorite moments, since you asked, I actually like the whole where they pick up the hitchhiker, which ends up being one of the family members, who he's like, "Oh, let me show you pictures of the slaughterhouse," and he's like just kind of being super weird, and then he fucking like slices the dude on the wheelchair's hand. Just that whole.
Oh yeah. First he slices his hand, and then he slices
his hand,
the dude's arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that whole really creepy thing that just sort of sets the tone. Well, actually helps as the tone, but what really sets the tone was the narration in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you hear about like the grave robbing and stuff like that. And actually, funny enough, the narrator, quick jump to trivia, I
was about to say.
we're talking about the narration. I'm sorry, I'm gonna take this one from you.
Do it.
So John Larroquette, I never can pronounce his name, but I remember him from Richie Rich. He was the bad guy in that movie.
Okay.
So he did the narration for this movie, and apparently his only form of payment was a fucking marijuana joint.
A blunt.
A blunt, dude.
I'll do it for a blunt.
Pretty fucking gangster.
For what? Like a 10, 15 second narration?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was awesome.
That is cool.
So
that is cool.
I think that really sets the tone for the main story, and then for the characters and what's probably going to happen to them. I guess it starts with the hitchhiker.
Yeah.
So I really love that scene.
And my favorite scene is when he dies.
Or he gets hit by the car?
Yes.
At the end?
When he gets hit by the truck, it's so satisfying seeing this fucking sadistic, weird, creepy fucker that did all the weird shit get just annihilated and run over by the tires. I was so satisfying.
Like, you know what could have made that scene even more perfect?
What?
Some father in the distance yelling, "Gage!"
Little slow motion shoe.
Slipper.
Slow motion shoe. This one is like a slow motion boot.
Yeah. But I also,
that was satisfying as hell.
But I another scene I love too is where we first see Leatherface, where the dude, he goes into the house and he goes into that hallway that's like under the stairs. He opens the door, peeks out, and then fucking Leatherface just jumps at him, hits him in the fucking head. He's all twitching out, and he just pulls him in.
And so what I really love about that scene also is the fact of the twitching. They purposely add that in. It was really important because that was one of the conversations they had in the beginning with the hitchhiker, where he was talking about like, oh, no, they use humane, like hydraulic.
Oh, the
like
gun
bullets.
thing, right?
But they were like, no, before that, you used to grab a sledgehammer and smack him, and they would twitch on the floor until they died. And so when they talked about it during that scene, now you actually physically see it.
Oh.
Now you see an actual sledgehammer, you see an actual butcher, these slaughterers do their thing to a human being, and now you have a human just like cattle twitching on the floor the same way that the hitchhiker explained it. And that's why the twitching was just so perfect. Dude,
I've seen this movie like a lot of times and I've never caught that detail. I just recently watched it like the other night.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you pulled one over on me.
And then the cherry on top for me also in that scene was once he pulls the body in, the way he slams that door. It's the cherry on top. It's the cherry on top. It's the moment that you're really like, fuck, this guy's not done.
Yeah.
He's just getting started, even though he slammed the door. And most of the time when the slamming of the door means it's done, it's closed, him slamming that door to me meant like he's not done. And it's really fucking, that scene was significant to me too.
Like the guy is done, but Leatherface isn't done with him.
No.
Yeah, dude. What a hell of an introduction too, man. Like it's still creepy. Like you don't really we don't see Leatherface at all. He just pops out of nowhere. Yeah. It's almost like he's like a predator, like a spider waiting for the fly to come in the spider's web, and he just grabs him, pulls him in, game over.
Yeah.
So that was fucking cool. And then when the girl gets put on the fucking meat hook.
Oh, the meat hook. That was
so gnarly.
And for some reason, it's something about that scene that makes you cringe because you kind of feel it yourself. Just imagining that bad, kind of like when somebody gets stabbed in the eye, you're like, oh, like you want to grab your own eye.
Yeah. I that sort of stuff, like I didn't really care about, but now as an adult, like, kind of bodily horror like that kind of makes me wince, actually a lot. So that was pretty cool. And, something different because you didn't really see movies that hook people like that all the time. So I guess, would you call her a hooker?
Well, she had hooker tendencies.
But right before that part, this is actually one of my favorite details that the movie does. I guess it's like my interpretation of it, but you see it before, but my favorite part of it is where she gets off the swing and she's walking to the house, and it's a low angle tracking shot. And you see that shot a couple times in the movie, which is really effective. But I love it when she walks to the house like that, because it almost looks like, because when you do like low angle shots, it's supposed to mean like the person's bigger, or scary, or more intimidating. It almost makes it look
more important.
It makes it feel like that the house is a character itself, something to be scared of because of what goes inside of it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. I love that type of shot, like a low angle tracking shot or whatever. But and if you ever play Resident Evil 7, okay, well,
no,
they do like their own like little homage of that, where you're walking to the house, it's that same type of thing, and it's really cool. So I think that was a really cool shot, like one of those I guess like an experimental shot, like in Jaws, where they do that the dolly zoom, where like they pull away but they zoom in, so it has that weird like effect.
They call it the Hitchcock's effect or something, because originally he was the one who developed it, where it's like you're punching in while the camera's moving back, where you're messing with the compression of the lens, where you're basically, the person stays the same but the background's being compressed inwards. Yeah,
so it gives like a really cool effect.
It's a really, I've done it before with my drone. It's hard as hell, but like, yes, it you feel like your vision is dropping into the subject,
right?
Or like the shit's hitting the fan,
right?
Like,
and that's exactly the point of what a zoom in is supposed to be, a realization. So when you see it in Jaws, when he does a zoom in, he realizes, oh shit, the shark is back.
A shark.
So yeah, that's just one of the examples of like those weird different types of like shots we see in movies. So I appreciated that shot that Tobe Hooper did.
Yeah, so you said it was a
low angle tracking shot, like it's low
from
angle
the side, from behind.
So we're watching her walk, and then we see the house, and it's angled, and the camera is moving with her.
So I have to ask, was it because her ass was in the frame?
This is like the 70s, so there weren't like things like BBLs and stuff, man. So
I'll be honest, I watched the Olympics, and there was a lot of angles like that in the Olympics.
I think that might be for different reasons. This was for artistic integrity, sir.
Sure, the same thing with Olympics. It's artistic integrity.
Okay, don't get me started on the Olympics, okay, Ray Gun?
Oh my God, let's not go into that conversation.
Although I wish I could dance like that. I fucking suck.
You just want to dance, period.
Yeah. Like there's no one in the room.
Like no one in the room.
Well, anywho.
You want to do that now?
No.
With their shirts off?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay.
No thanks. It's too hot. I have the AC off.
That's a perfect excuse to take your shirt off.
Okay. You know what? Well, ask me again sometime. Because right now the cameras are rolling.
There's no cameras.
The audio's recording.
There could be a camera.
It's getting really rapey in here. All right. Anywho.
This is what happens when you give me whiskey.
I had nothing to say.
Yeah, nothing.
I had nothing to say.
Okay, moving on.
Did you have any did you already name some of your favorite parts?
Just the one part when he dies.
Where he dies?
Where he dies. And also like I said, I agreed with you with when he first showed up.
Yeah.
Because of the twitching part meant so much, and it linked it to the beginning of the movie, and then they're slaughterers. Like that was their profession, and that's when you truly see them do his profession, which is he's a professional slaughterer.
Well, you can't spell slaughter without laughter, right? No, you can't. So
there's no G in it.
Slaughter and laughter have a G in it.
Slaughter. Laughter.
Another moment I like too is where you see the grandpa,
Oh, like
where
that
he's sitting
whole
across from like the
prosthetic
mummified
face.
mom or grandma.
You weren't know which one was dead. You thought both of them were dead.
Yeah, and then he just starts like coming alive, and he's trying to kill her with the hammer. Like, go kill the grandpa.
Oh, they were
Please.
forcing him. Like
But
he wasn't
grandpa-
trying.
Grandpa couldn't get it
They
up
were
anymore.
just grabbing his arm and trying to do it for her. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he was trying to do it at all.
And I think it's fucked up. It's like, well, kind of funny as the viewer, but fucked up for the character how she escapes the house. She goes to the gas station, and the guy's like, oh, yeah, I'll help you. And then he ends up taking her back to the house, and then she has to escape again.
Again?
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, she went through a lot. That's probably for sequel talk, but that's the same one from the most recent sequel, right?
It's the same character, but it's
Same
a different
character.
actress because the
Different
original actress died before that.
Oh, she passed away?
Yes.
Oh, damn, I didn't know that.
But it's the same. It's supposed to be the same character. Yeah.
Okay, all right, interesting. But yeah, no, honestly, there wasn't a lot of like favorite scenes I had. Honestly, it was just just two parts: the satisfying death and that the first time you seen Leatherface.
Is it bad that in horror movies, when there's someone on a wheelchair and they die, I have like a guilty laugh? Because in Friday the 13th Part 2, do you remember the dude who gets axed in the face or with a little fucking like hatchet or a butcher's knife in the face in his wheelchair, and then he gets pushed down the stairs? So he's like falling while with a fucking like knife in his head. It was hilarious. And then in this one where he's like you
got me laughing now.
He gets like sliced and like Leatherface is doing his initials on his stomach and stuff. It was
He's the only one that dies from the chainsaw in the whole entire movie. So like one of my least favorite things in this movie was Franklin, the wheelchair guy. he was like I really hated him, and I guess you're supposed to hate him, but he's a guy in the wheelchair, but he's such a big baby back bitch, and he cries and he's annoying and he's pathetic, and he gets so dirty, like he gets cut by the hitchhiker. He's stuck there and he's pathetic and he can't get around and he's bringing everybody down, and he's such a piece of shit that I couldn't wait for him to die. Like I wanted to see him die so bad, and I'm like, just gotta put you out of your misery. And it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it was very satisfying when he died, because he's like, fuck, finally he's dead, and I feel bad. But you're right, it's like you want to laugh and you're like, no, I should feel bad, but at the same time, I don't.
I mean,
it's such a bitch.
It's a movie, you know. It'd be another thing if it was like
it's
a real thing.
If it was, no, seriously, if it was in real life, I would be there, annoyed as fuck, but I would be pushing Franklin in the middle of the woods. I would be pushing him. I would be helping him, but I would also tell him, shut the fuck up. But like, I would treat him like shit too, but only because he's asking for it. But yeah, no, you're right. When it's a movie and it's in real life, different. And I think that's kind of like the charm of things like movies. What I love about it is it gets you thinking about, what if you were in that situation? What if you had a friend like that? What if you were that person?
Right.
It's like, it's okay to have these thoughts. It's your actions that matter.
Right.
Your thoughts are, they're inside. So yeah, you want to laugh at a guy in a wheelchair getting hacked up, then you're going to laugh. Yeah, you're going to laugh. But I'm pretty sure if it happened in real life, then that's probably a question of your character, if you actually laugh.
Totally. Another funny wheelchair death is in Red Dragon, where I believe it's Gary Oldman's character, where he's like, he's on fire and they just push his ass in the middle of the street on the wheelchair. I always crack up on that one too. Goddamn Gary Oldman. I love that guy.
Wait, what about that alien movie that I showed you? Marley and Me or something like that? Like Marnie and Me?
Oh yeah. Not Marnie and Me, was
the one that Paul Rudd keeps making fun of, where the kid goes off the cliff. He goes off the cliff in a wheelchair.
Yes, dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and Paul Rudd keeps playing it, and every time he goes on Jimmy Kimmel, no, not Jimmy Kimmel,
Mac and Me.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. It's like people in wheelchairs. I'm like, I don't know. Like they have better upper body strength than I do. So hey, good on you. But yeah, Mac and Me. That's probably the most fun. That is the funniest. That is the funniest wheelchair. Well, he didn't die, but that is the funniest wheelchair accident that happens that I can't help laughing at.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, there's that.
What's your least favorite part?
Um,
Oh man, that whiskey.
that's Bullet.
That's bullet for you. Least favorite.
Probably I don't know, because there's not really like bad scenes or boring scenes. Like there are scenes that like I guess kind of have to be there for the sake of like why these characters are there. I can't really think of anything that makes me feel like, oh, this scene was stupid. I loved like all of it, and it was only like an hour and 20 minutes, so that was such an easy watch. And I another scene I do like, I can go back to that, is where the truck driver he helps, I think her name was Sally, and to escape, and like Leatherface is chasing him, and the dude throws something at Leatherface, and he gets like all like dazed, and then he ends up like slicing his leg with the chainsaw.
Yeah,
That was pretty funny.
yeah, that was funny.
And he does that whole that now iconic like chainsaw dance because he's
The
all
chainsaw
frustrated.
dance. Yeah,
That was improv.
yeah. Talking about
Probably.
talking about improv. Fun fact when it comes to Leatherface, during the forest chase, the dude was so much faster than the girl during the chasing in real life that he had to improv all that extra shit because he was easily catching up to her and she was absurdly slow. So he's like, how am I gonna fake this for the camera? It's like so he started, like getting caught on bushes or getting purposely lost or just like looking all stupid and shit as he's chasing her. That was all improv because like all was written was like Leatherface chases her through the woods and he's like, well, she's going way too slow and I'm catching up. I need to somehow not catch up to her. So
the answer is just doing some weird shit.
Or getting caught up on bushes and tree limbs and stopping to just hack on bushes, or like purposely so he can like give her time to run.
And it worked.
It worked.
It was great.
Because that became very iconic too. Because then you started seeing it in a lot of like horror movies and also like
parodies like Scary Movie 3.
Where it's like girls running through forests and
They
he never
trip.
catches up.
Yeah.
They trip. Shirts and clothes come off.
Actually, I don't think there was any nudity in this movie.
No, not at all. But
You look very disappointed.
No, yeah, absolutely. But you do see it in other movies. So
That's true. I think you see some boobs in Halloween. And then Friday the 13th, like almost every movie.
they delivered. But that was like a Hollywood thing. Like you needed to show boobs in a movie. It was because producers got off on it.
Yeah, not a lot of changes, I guess.
Well, you still see some nudity, but it's starting to go away thanks to Gen Z.
Is this an issue for you?
No, not really, because most horror movies nowadays suck anyways, and I don't really watch them. So, yeah, no. But for like, campy, funny, dumb, oldster stuff, I do appreciate the boobs.
Yeah.
It kind of just adds on to the whole
Product of its time.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. No, I'm okay with no nudity now. But I feel like a lot of it died out because like I read an article about it where people in Gen Z were saying nudity in films is completely unnecessary. We don't need it. Even if it is a sex scene that adds to the story, we still don't want to see it. And I was like, well, that's kind of lame because, I mean, I watch Game of Thrones and I enjoy it.
Right? Nothing like some good old incest. Well,
Sure.
do you got any more trivia for me, sir?
Oh, plenty. All right, plenty.
Fire
Let's go.
away.
All right. So back to the whole running in the forest thing. So when the main girl's running through the forest, what I like in real life, she was actually like, even though she was slow, she was hardcore actually method running through that forest.
Like really trying.
She really tried. She got scratched up by bushes and everything. And like in real life, half of the blood on her clothes were her real blood.
Oh, shit.
Because she actually was running through the bushes and stuff like that and getting cut up.
Yeah.
And trying to be a good actress. And she ended up like getting real serious cuts. And like, and she was actually really, really trying. Like even during the iconic scene when she like escapes from the whole hammer thing and jumps through the window, that was a stunt double that jumped through the window.
Yeah, of course.
But the landing scene, which was her, she actually ended up doing that herself and got cut on the glass on the floor.
Fuck.
And got seriously cut from that scene. So she didn't go through the window, but she still ended up getting cut. So yeah, she really tried her best. And it seemed like this movie actually meant a lot to her because she also was the one person to convince the actor who was Leatherface to do the movie.
Gunnar? Yeah, Gunnar.
He didn't want to do it.
Oh, no?
And she convinced him to do the role because they were friends at the time. And she was like, "Hey, do this movie with me," and convinced him to do it.
That's cool.
So we almost didn't have that guy as Leatherface.
What could have been, just like with Predator, we could have had Jean-Claude Van Damme be Predator.
No way. What?
Yeah, he was actually cast as Predator, and there's even like backstage photos of him in a Predator costume, but it not how it looked at the final film, but it was him. And I think he either quit or got fired, but yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme was supposed to be Predator.
Was this before he was doing all the martial art movies?
This is like right when he was starting to pick up.
Okay, because it wouldn't make any sense. I mean, because Predator doesn't do any martial arts, so why? Like,
can you imagine? That'd be pretty fucking cool.
Oh, that'd be so fucking cool.
Even more deadly.
Deadly.
But yeah, okay.
Okay. Another thing. So, the actor who was what was
Gunnar Hansen? Gunnar?
Gunnar?
Gunther?
Gunther?
I think it's Gunnar.
Gunnar. So, Gunnar. So during the shooting of the film, I think nobody actually saw his face at all. He was
I don't even know what he looks like either.
I think he was in makeup the whole entire time, and even other people who were in the movie and the cast and the crew never saw his face until towards the end, because he was always in makeup, and it also used to take forever to get that shit on him. So like nobody actually saw how he actually really looked like until like towards the end of the movie. Like even
kind of added to the mysteriousness of it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Another fun fact: crime went down because of this movie.
No fucking way.
Yep. So in that area, like in Texas, when one of the sheriffs, I think it was like some kind of like meet and greet thing, and it was with the actor who was a hitchhiker.
Mm-hmm.
This deputy sheriff thanked him. He was like, "I want to thank you because of this movie. Less hitchhikers were picked up in Texas because of that movie." They were like, "Hey, no, I watched that movie. I ain't gonna pick up no hitchhiker." So crime went down because of it.
Damn.
There was less crazy, so like hitchhikers being picked up.
Kind of like how Jaws made people afraid of the beach.
But sharks don't ever really go.
People can still be afraid of the beach, and actually, Jaws is
yeah.
based off of an actual like incidents around that
actually
that
came
area.
down to the beach.
Yeah, in Jersey, I think.
Yeah, because
it's also based off a book.
Yeah, I heard that like that was always like an urban legend that sharks actually come out to the beach. They are like in the area, but you would have to go really out there to get attacked by a shark.
Well, because don't sharks like swim in groups? And I think this one was just like a rogue shark.
And you said a real life story?
Yeah. It's like 1920s or something.
Yeah, interesting.
But anywho, yes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, let's see. So the director, the writer, the person who came up with the whole idea was inspired to write the movie because he was Christmas shopping. And the store was packed as fuck, and he was in the hardware section, and he was absolutely miserable that he's like, how the hell am I going to get out of this store?
This is before Black Friday.
And then his eyes meet and sees a chainsaw. And then he's like,
what if I just had a chainsaw and just mowed these people down?
What if I do a movie where I mow people down with a chainsaw? And yeah, that's how he was inspired by the movie. Christmas shopping.
Those little simple moments in life can lead to fucking big franchises, like those sick thoughts.
Yeah. And so my last fact. So Gunnar. He also fucking hated Franklin. He did not get along with the actor who played Franklin, and during the whole entire shoot did not get along with it. Hated him. So it wasn't until years later when they actually met in person afterwards where he found out that the guy who played Franklin was a method actor.
He was just in character.
He decided to be in character the whole entire time they were shooting the film. Was annoying and piece of shit during the whole entire time. And after when he realized that he was just method acting, they became really good friends until the day Franklin died.
Whoa. Imagine being mad at some dude and I was, oh no, I was just in character, bro.
Yeah, and then he turns out to be like one of your best friends.
Are you method acting right now?
In the beginning, I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
a little bit right now too. But it might be the whiskey.
Well, I actually got a couple of facts too, sir.
Go for it.
So because it was, like I mentioned, like you could just tell that it looks just fucking hot as shit over there. Well, they were having a heat wave during production, so production was miserable. It was hot, and in the house, when they were doing like a lot of like the family scenes and stuff, it was just a putrid, atrocious stench because of the heat, the rotted food, the dead animals, and fucking Gunnar Hansen not showering and stuff because he only wore like one shirt. He only had one shirt for like budget reasons. So
yeah,
he just
same thing
smelled,
with the girl.
Yeah, so they all just smelled awful, and it was like crew member were like passing out and shit like that. It was just a complete miserable experience. It paid off in the end, but like doing it those moments, it probably just really fucking sucked.
Isn't that crazy how like back then it's like, okay, if they were shooting that movie today, they would be like, no, this sucks, this is miserable, this ain't working. They would just go up to Canada and redo the whole entire set to look exactly the same. And like you can shoot at nighttime, and if as long as you have all the proper lights, you can make it look like daytime. That's how good our fucking equipment and technology is nowadays. So like yeah, back then we didn't have that. So you're forced. Go out to Texas, go out and find the actual scene, shoot there. And if it's a miserable fucking day and the weather's that fucking bad, deal with it. You have to deal with it. Now there's still leeway. Like now there's leeway. It's like now you can do it in a nice AC conditioned environment and create the set. And
I mean, I'm sure it's easier for everyone to have an environment like that, but at the same time, for your artistic integrity, don't you want to get that authenticity? And do you think because of that, like those harsh circumstances, that it gave us, I guess, the authentic performances and stuff that we saw?
And I feel like that's where you draw the line between greatness and mediocre shit that we see nowadays. Because there are so many directors out there and that will opt in for that nice environment, that nice set, and the nice conditions for the whole entire crew. But then you have those dick fucking directors who are on like the top 5, top 10 best directors of all time because they're that fucking hardcore about it.
Stanley Kubrick.
Who's
even my boy James Cameron, he's an intense director.
Yeah. Michael Bay too, I heard, is pretty intense too because he needs his shit fucking perfect and he'll do it like a bunch of times to get shit perfect. And and like that's where you draw the line, like where between greatness and mediocrity, because sometimes you have to be a crazy fucking insane person with a vision of perfection that people will fucking hate you for while it happens, but then you get the name.
I mean, like, do you want to make like, okay, this is a good movie and everyone had a lot of fun, or do you want to make a movie that's gonna be fucking legendary and talked about for years after because of all the shit that happened like behind it? I don't know, man, because like
I don't know.
We need Ben here, an actual actor who can tell us his perspective. Like, what would he think? Like, what would be better?
In the perfect world, you would try to find the balance of both,
right?
And that's the kind of struggle when it comes to a person is like, do you rather be a good person yourself that people will love and say great things about themselves? Or do you want your art and the most iconic thing? That's where you kind of decide the person that you're going to be. And so, I don't know. That's just a question that falls into each individual.
I think you're right. I think it is a balance. Like, you can still make some really good movies and just not be a total perfectionist dick. I mean, let's look at Christopher Nolan.
Yes. I've heard nothing but good things about Nolan.
And, David Fincher is supposed to be a pretty intense director as well. And I love a lot of his movies. But, I mean, you just got to find that balance, I guess.
Yeah. And sometimes you like, and also a lot of the times too, a lot of the reasons why they're so intense is because they're trying to do everything in less time because of budget restraints.
Time is money.
Money is the biggest thing that will always cause things to stress. So sometimes you're like, there's a give and take in everything. And so, that's why a lot of directors make the big money, because it's not just sitting there and pointing out and making their vision. There's also a lot of balancing between, budgets and This it's hard being a manager sometimes. If you're actually putting in the work
Yeah.
and not making other people suffer for it.
Yeah.
We all know those dirtbag managers, and like just pass down the work.
Well, I agree, and I think even though the working conditions sucked, I think Tobe Hooper gave us a great movie.
Yeah, I got one more thing to this little thing topic before I close it off is that I feel like you're truly respected in any field that you're in when you've been in the trenches with everybody else. So, the few shoots that I've been in, I truly respect directors and producers and also like DPs, like the higher enclave of productions,
Yeah.
when they've also done the media. They've also been PAs. They've also been grips and
Folks who worked from the bottom and all the
yes,
way up.
yes,
exactly.
Someone who can be there and be like, hey, like, you know, directors come in and they never fucking had a day of hard work in their life. But then you have other people that come in and be like, yeah, no, I used to be there right there with you. You want me to help those wrap those cables with you? And then they do the professional wrap, and he's like, oh, he's been down here with me.
Yeah.
You truly it's the same thing with managers.
Same thing with managers, yeah.
They'd be like, hey, no, I've been there. I've been a cashier where you've been before.
And now I'm here. So
And
I
I'm
understand where you're coming from. Instead of like some of these people who get hired straight from management.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
You're, like, you're not one of us.
Yeah, and I respect that. So I feel like that would, if we ever became big time directors, I feel like that's where like we would be different. That's why we would actually look for the balance, because we've been in the trenches, we've been PAs, we've been in those long grueling days and of just like, hey, I'm happy to be here, but this sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
it just like, again, it's just, you know, to get that harmony is to have the balance, and if everyone is, you know, on the same page, and I think at the end you get your product, you get your vision out, and then it's what's really talked about for years later.
Yeah, I feel like you truly meet your vision though when you don't try to just do it all yourself. Understand that you have a team, and be kind enough so that your team actually supports you.
I agree. And just a question: is this become like a support group, or are we still talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I don't know. I feel like we should still do a little bit of that. Because like I feel like a lot of people who are nerds just like us have the same type of dreams.
Yourself.
Come on, my ears. I seen your room. You're way more nerdier than I am. But I feel like we all want that same thing. So
yeah,
we all imagine ourselves being in that position, and yeah, no, it's a little conversation here, getting a little
sprinkle it in,
get a little deep here and there. I feel like it's a good thing because most people want to hear the same thing.
Well, deep is the only level I got.
Let's go deeper.
Okay, so sequel talk. God damn, there were a lot of sequels,
and there's only one that matters.
Are you gonna say the one with
Alexander Daddario?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Where she will end up being his cousin, and Leatherface like, I will take care of you forever.
So that is my favorite because, you know, I'm fucking in love with her. But also the most recent one, the one with
the Netflix one,
the fucking one with the Gen Z. I will be honest, it was pretty fucking satisfying seeing all those kids fucking die. Like, they were all stupid and annoying, and I'm like, hey, no, Leatherface, do it. Yeah. Kill that.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where you actually like root for the slasher.
Yeah, root for the slasher because all these kids were just dumb as shit. Like,
very annoying.
But
yeah, I agree. Talking about that one, it's supposed to. It was continuing the trend of being a sequel and to the first one and ignoring all the other entries. So just like how Halloween, the 2018, was the part 2 from the original Halloween. Mm-hmm. Although it's funny because it's like, in that timeline, it's like, yeah, Halloween, the original one.
Yeah.
And the other 2018, which is Halloween. So you have Halloween and Halloween. And you have Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends.
Kills and Halloween. I haven't seen Halloween Ends. No, wait. I fell asleep during Halloween Ends and only watched a piece. Actually, I've fallen asleep for both of them. I'll be honest.
I didn't like Halloween Ends at all.
I watched both Kills and Ends and fell asleep during. And I never fall asleep during movies.
That's
I fell asleep.
Really bad for you.
I fell asleep during these movies, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. I never fall asleep during movies.
It just wasn't there. But I mean, yeah. So that's what the last Texas Chainsaw did was copying or doing that, and it brought back Sally, you know, an older survivor. But
she was just waiting for her chance for revenge. She even and that's how you know, because she pulled out the picture of all the kids. You see Franklin's bitch ass in the corner,
and then she ends up dying.
Yeah, no, but she put up a good fucking fight. Yeah. I forgot how she died, and it was a freak accident too.
I only seen it when it came out, and then I was like, I don't need to see this again.
Yeah, I forgot how, and I don't even think it was. I don't remember how she died.
But yeah, with all the other sequels, there was sequels. There was a couple of remakes. It was pretty much just adding more and more Sawyer family members, and then there's
how many of the sequels do you remember? Do you remember all of the Chainsaw sequels? How it plays out?
I remember that they just keep adding more and more family members, and then in I think it's part 4, the mid '90s one where we see a young Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. They're in those movies, which was
no fucking way.
Yeah, all right, Leatherface, let's go.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
So I'm asking because I'm curious. I think most of the slashers and horror movies I've seen, it's like the villain always dies or some shit. I feel like the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, he always survives in the end.
Yeah, I don't think he ever really died. He just kind of got hurt, and then you see him at the end he's still alive.
Or gets away.
That I can remember.
And I remember from the original Chainsaw, the one with Alexander Daddario, and the most recent one, he gets away. He doesn't die, he gets away. Or in honestly, in my sense, he wins. And I feel like I don't really see that in any other horror movies where
they usually die and then you see them come back for the next one.
Yeah, but they lose. They lose in the end. But Leatherface don't lose. He don't lose.
No, he doesn't. He just keeps on cooking.
So I kind of find that impressive.
And then and there was the 2000s MTV one, or the Michael Bay produced one with Jessica Biel. She was in that one, and then they did they did a prequel to that one.
What was that called?
I think it was just called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I remember the one with Jessica Biel. She was super cute and nice in that. I really liked that. So yeah, I do remember that one. I do remember that movie. That one was really good.
And then there was Leatherface 3D, and then there was
there's a prequel, Leatherface.
Yeah, I think
where he's a kid.
I think that was the one that was a prequel to the Jessica Biel one. I think
that's a prequel to the Jessica Biel one.
I'm pretty sure.
But he's a kid in that, right?
Oh no!
Because I remember it's called Leatherface.
Yes,
and you see
that
him
was the
holding a
2017 one, I think.
Yeah, and it's a prequel.
Yeah, that was another prequel. Yeah, so there was
that was a show, wasn't it, or was it a movie?
It was a movie.
Okay, I got to see it. I just remember the thumbnail where it's a kid holding the Leatherface mask.
Yeah, so there was 2 reboots, 2 prequels, a bunch of sequels. It's a fucking mess. So I mean, it's one of those where you don't need to see all of them. You could probably just watch the original and then, I don't know, maybe the most recent one, I guess. But I mean, if you want to see a modern take on it, but really you just need the original.
Just the original. I don't know. I feel like the Jessica Biel one was a little bit more solid.
I think it was I think it was more gorier, gory than some of the other ones.
They also showed the officer, the one of the dads becoming the sheriff or something.
Yeah, and funny enough, that sheriff guy. Did you ever see this movie called Full Metal Jacket, sir?
Yeah,
I'm in a world of shit.
Exactly. That's
he was the drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Shit! I bet you can suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
I like that guy, and he played the sheriff in Texas Chainsaw with Jessica Biel,
Ely Ermey, whatever.
And I feel like I feel like I'd rather watch that version more than the original. I feel like that one was more solid because it gave more substance to the family.
Okay,
and not just Leatherface and the people being murdered. I feel like all characters had more substance compared to the original. Because the Jessica, now I remember the Jessica Biel one. The Jessica Biel one, like one of the brothers was an ex-soldier, and his brother just got drafted, and his brother wants to dodge the draft.
You remember that one a lot more than I do.
Exactly, it's all coming back to me now, and I'm like, oh shit, it was a really good one. I feel like that one is worth watching more than the original.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen it since it fucking first came out. So
really, I feel like it's way better. That or Jessica.
Are you telling me
or Alex Teodario?
Are you telling me that the Jessica Biel one is better than the original?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
pretty bold of you.
I'm gonna say it.
That is quite the hot take.
Yeah, because like I said, better character like descriptions and
a little more depth in there.
There's more depth. I felt like
Interesting.
it was a better storytelling.
Well, I think you convinced me to rewatch that one.
Yeah,
it's been forever.
Yeah, that or the Alex Teodario one. Yeah.
Real quick, going back to trivia, this is a pretty funny one. We mentioned GDT at some point, either in this episode or the last episode. But apparently, when he first watched this movie, it made him vegetarian for like 4 years.
Oh, I think I saw something about that. Like, what part of it made him?
I think it was just...
Was it the roadkill or
just
like...
the grotesqueness of it, the cannibalism, the slaughtering. It just... I guess it made him feel like, oh man, like... just uncomfortable. Like for me, like I know that animals go through a lot and it really sucks, but I don't need to see how the sausage is made. Just give me my damn cheeseburger, please. I'm sorry, but thank you for, So I guess it was just so bad for him at the time that he was vegetarian for like 4 years.
Yeah, no, I get it. What shit.
And then we get Leatherface, who is much like how Norman Bates and Buffalo Bill were loosely based on infamous serial killer Ed Gein.
Gein.
So yeah, there's another person who was created that was loosely like based off of him.
Yeah, I also read that during the previews of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, people were walking out of it.
Yeah,
that people walked out. Like, man, people were just so sensitive back then.
And here we are.
They screamed over the littlest shit.
Well, it feels like not a lot has changed because I think people have always been sensitive, but I think it's just more apparent now because there's social media. There's more visibility to it. Because if like fucking Twitter existed in the 80s, 90s, it would just be how it is today.
Yeah, we're pretty desensitized now.
Yeah, because I mean, sensitive people have always existed. People have gotten hate mail all the time. People complaining about violence in movies and video games and shit. It's always been there.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, there's more of a visibility to it because of things like social media.
True.
Any idiot can put their stupid opinion out right now and they can be seen.
True. But yeah, no, like I find it insane that you just walk out of a movie theater and be like, bitch, I am not going to walk out of this movie theater. I paid $20 fucking bucks. Yeah. Plus the popcorn and shit like that. I'm not leaving. I'm staying.
Let's go. Have you ever walked out of a movie?
I was forced to walk out of it because the fucking theater shut down. But no, I've never walked out of a movie theater. I'm like,
even no matter how bad the movie sucks, based on principle, you're going to stay no matter what.
I've never gone to a movie theater where the movie sucked that bad. Like, I only go to movie theaters when I know it's a good fucking movie. That's why I'd rather wait for things to go on a streaming platform. But no, out of my rule. Like, I can't talk shit about a movie unless I watch it till the end. And so like, yeah, I'll avoid all opinions on a movie unless I watch it. Like, I'd have to. That's why I'm okay with watching shitty movies, because at least I can say that was one piece of shitty movie. And I watched it all, so my opinion matters.
You know who I bet wished had streaming service back in their time? Abraham Lincoln.
Why?
Because he got shot in the theater.
Oh my god!
His fucking wife was like, "Let's go watch this play," and he's like, "Oh god damn it!"
Oh my god!
If only Lincoln can stream that fucking play on Max or something.
No,
he would have lived longer.
No. This was you said it yourself. This was his wife wanting to go out. Like, there was no avoiding it. There was no avoiding going out.
I'll do that one thing you like.
When your wife wants to go out, you gotta go out. Like, come on, you're the one that's married. You know this.
It was like the 1800s, so she was like, "I'll do that thing I do only on your birthday." Exactly. With my pinky. All right, 407 whores later.
Honest Abe, I do love Abe.
And how honest was Abe really? Let's get this guy on a podcast. What's he up to?
Have you seen Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
Yeah.
Good.
I think I saw it with you.
This is good shit.
It was a random ass idea, but it was fucking cool.
It was fucking beautiful. Great.
And there was another one too, who was another vampire slayer. It was was it Jesus Christ? No. Was it Jesus?
No, there was definitely a Jesus Christ vampire slayer.
Fuck yeah.
I just noticed it was I was browsing Peacock. I think it was Peacock. It was a Abraham Lincoln zombie slayer.
Zombie slayer.
This is a zombie one. With Abraham Lincoln.
Why in the fuck not?
Yeah, why not? I didn't watch it, but it's there. It's out there.
Okay. You mentioned this and you already forgot, but I'm gonna remind you quick. What are some of your favorite slashers of all time?
There you go. We're talking about top 3 slashers. So
no particular order.
What's considered a slasher? One person that's a monster serial killer?
I think someone who's getting there's an antagonist who's picking off people one by one.
Damn. Okay.
That's it. That's my definition of it.
Okay. Definitely Jason. He's up there. Great creativity to his kills. Not Leatherhead.
Leatherface.
Yeah, Leatherface. Sorry. Real quick side note, because I will forget, but I'm gonna come back to this. Original. What was the original title concept of Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Back to trivia.
I don't know.
Really?
You got me.
Okay, so original concept for the title of Texas Chainsaw Massacre was called Head Cheese.
Oh, like how what the hitchhiker kept referencing. You trust it. My brother can make it. Oh, you'll like it.
Yep. Then they were like, no on this, and then they moved it to Leatherface, and it was gonna be Leatherface, and the actor for Leatherface was more for it because that would give him more fame, having the name the movie named after him. But they settled on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which he wasn't too happy about because he wanted it to be
right, a little more spotlight on him.
Now,
did they call him Leatherface in the movie? No, right?
No, it came in afterwards, I think. But it was supposed to be called Leatherface. Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, back to the thing. So definitely Jason. What's Art the Clown? I really do like him up when it comes to like slashers.
Yeah.
And then a third one. This is a hard question because I never really thought about it. One by one killer. Probably Chucky, because I can't think of many other ones that just significantly pop out of my head. What are yours? Because you have a better repertoire, better memory than I do.
Dude, it's hard for me to pick top 3. I have a bunch. Then they're all kind of in the same areas, but I'll give you some non-conventional ones that are, I guess, debatable.
I like creativity to my killers.
The Terminator, I would consider it a sci-fi horror because he's there and he's killing people on the way to get to Sarah Connor.
Yeah, true.
Jaws.
Okay.
He's a slasher. He's out there picking off people one by one.
He's out slashing now.
It's with his teeth.
He's biting.
Slash and dash, cut another hole in the ass. That one, that's another one. And then I like some of the meta ones. There was this one from the I think like 2004. It was called Meta. There was one called Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, where it's this guy who's given these people of how slashers work in movies. It's like it's deconstructed. It's like a mockumentary.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, it becomes a slasher.
Oh.
So it's actually pretty dope, and I think kind of ahead of its time in a way, where it's a simple idea.
I gotta look this up. What is it called again?
Behind the Mask.
Behind the Mask. I want to look this up. I love mockumentaries. They're so awesome.
It starts off like a documentary, and then it becomes a horror movie at the end. It's pretty dope. So there's that one. Scream, one of the quintessential slashers.
True. Yeah.
Almost every Friday the 13th, except Jason Goes to Hell, because I just, for reasons, I hate that movie. I think Black Christmas is definitely a good slasher.
I haven't seen Black Christmas in a while.
Psycho.
Yeah, Psycho.
We mentioned Peeping Tom. Peeping Tom.
You didn't say Chucky.
Yeah, there's also this other really cool one called April Fool's Day, where
April Fool's Day. That sounds really familiar.
I don't want to give away the ending, but it's one of those kind of like obscure 80s horror movies where fucking Biff from Back to the Future is in it.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a good one.
Bro, did you ever see Thanksgiving?
Of course. Nice tits, bitch.
Does that count as a slasher?
Why not? He had a fucking teepee.
That is a great one. My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen the original.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
I've only seen the one with the guy from Supernatural, Jason.
Oh, Jared Padalecki, wasn't it? Oh no. That was House of Wax.
That was House of Wax. That was Jared Padalecki. The other one was Jensen Ackles.
Ankles.
Batman.
Yeah, he was.
He was Batman.
But yeah, there's just a lot of slashers. We mentioned Tobe Hooper, so he did another movie called Funhouse, which was pretty cool.
I think I watched that one. Yeah, I think I did watch Funhouse.
There's like this guy who had like a deformity, was wearing like.
Wait, this is the super old one though, right? No, I watched another one called Funhouse, which was.
It feels like it's a common name, but no, I'm talking about the 1980s one.
Oh no, I didn't watch that.
That one's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, no, but yeah, but wait, so you don't have a top 3? You just named off all the.
It's hard for me to like name them all, or like put them in order. But I guess for ironic meta purposes, the Behind the Mask one is definitely up there just because it's different.
Okay, yeah, definitely. It looks interesting. I'm definitely watch that one. Behind the Mask.
Yeah, there's
There was one movie I recently watched. I watched part 3 because I couldn't find the other 2, and I accidentally played it, and I didn't really give a shit about it. But it was called. Have you ever seen the movie franchise called Hatchet?
Yeah, Laura and I saw the first one not too long ago with Kane Hodder.
Something about Victor Crowley is the name of the murder. I watched part 3 of it, and it was a trash fucking movie.
Oh, we saw the first one,
and it just seemed like it was just a big giant ripoff of Jason.
Funny enough, Kane Hodder played Jason in like 4 of the movies.
Yeah. So what was Hatchet about? Like the first one? Like what was your opinion of the first one?
It was good. It was about these tourists who go on this this little boat ride. They end up getting stuck in the wrong part of the swamp, and Victor Crowley just fucking hatches them up.
Okay.
It's a simple story. It's good. It's pretty satisfying deaths. It's good. It's good cheese. Like
good
Gouda.
Cheese. Good cheese. All right, well, I'll probably check out the first one because like they made a part 2, a part 3, and
I think one's coming out or one came out recently.
Yeah, is it this one Victor Crowley? No, this one's 2017.
Funny enough, we were lucky enough to meet Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, at that horror convention.
Horrorville. Horror, not Horrorville.
Horrorville.
Another R in there. Yeah.
Horrorville.
Horror.
Because I really want to go to a Horrorville.
I'm pretty sure you could just go down Figueroa and you can find some there.
No.
Well, anywho, do you think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has aged well and maybe deserves its place in horror history?
I felt like it spawned a very good franchise, but the movie itself, I don't know. Like, I don't know, it kind of bored me. We were watching it, like rewatching it, and like I was like, this kind of bored me, man. Like,
damn.
I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it held up well. Although, like I said, like it spawned a really good franchise and a very good like slasher monster like person, like the whole concept of Leatherface, and like the chainsaw and everything. I feel like that's very iconic. But the movie itself, I was like, it bored the shit out of me. Like I don't want to rewatch this movie.
I love that we have a strong difference of opinion to that. That's good. I love that. So I thank you for being honest.
You think it holds up great?
I love it. I think it holds up great, and it absolutely deserves its place in horror history franchise slasher Mount Rushmore. So I think Leatherface, he absolutely deserves his place up there. So I think it's aged well, and it's an absolute must watch.
Mount Rushmore
of slashers. Okay, maybe I might have overdone it. But
come on, man, because I was about to say there's a Mount Rushmore, and there's like 4 faces up there. It's not going to be that.
I don't know.
You're gonna have Freddy. You're gonna have Chunky. Chucky. You got Freddy, Chucky, Jason, and
that's like I don't know, man. Do we have time for a Mount Rushmore?
I mean, wasn't that was supposed to be the top 3 shit that we were talking about earlier?
But now we said Mount Rushmore. I don't know.
Okay. That was the same question, same concept.
Yeah, but now there's 4.
I can you do one? Can you do one quick?
Yes, sir.
Go for it.
All right.
Mount Rushmore.
Ready?
Of course. Do it.
My Mount Rushmore: Jason, Freddy, Chunky.
Leprechaun?
Michael seems like the safe choice, but
Leprechaun?
Leprechaun.
Michael for sure.
Yeah,
I feel like Michael will be up there for me.
I'm gonna say Jaws.
See a fucking shark. Just like a shark sticking out.
Baby shark.
Baby shark. Do, 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 do. It'll be such a running joke.
All right, your turn. Go.
Don't
copy mine.
I basically already said it. It's basically Chunky. Freddy,
Andy, give me your lunch.
Freddy, Jason, and Michael. Like that'll be Mount Rushmore. Like absolutely, hands down.
Okay.
Because a shark would look so stupid up there.
I love it though.
No, it would be so stupid, but fucking great. And all you would hear is do 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 do. You press the little button, the little tourist button on the bottom, and it's just do 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 do.
Can you use your graphic artist expertise and make me an image of that, please?
I can do it. I'll work on that. I'm gonna add that on my list of projects.
Good. Well,
Turn that
is
into a
going
shirt.
to wrap it.
Turn that into a shirt.
That's gonna wrap it us for this episode.
Wrap it us.
Thank you for all those involved with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre to help us give us an iconic movie. Here's to 50 years. Cheers, my dears.
Cheers. Clink.
Oh. Thank you all for watching and or listening. Please make sure you leave a like, thumbs up, leave a comment, tell us things we missed. Feel free to correct us because I know you're all a bunch of smart asses out there. Or just say, hey, how's it going? Once again, I am Detective Artemis.
And I'm Journey.
And we drink and we watch things.
Stuff. That's the things.
It's things.